Good morning, fellow meat smokers and barbecue enthusiasts. This is Joshua from JB's Gourmet Spice Blends, and I'm going to talk to you today about using our Red Dirt Road seasoning on some pork butts and how to cook a pork butt and get a lot of moisture left when you go to cook it correctly. And before I get going too far, I want to stop and I want to wish all my brothers and sisters a happy 242nd Marine Corps birthday. Me being a Marine Corps veteran, I'm very proud to have served this country. And to our veterans, with tomorrow being Veterans Day, thank you for your service as well. Again, I've got two bone-in pork shoulders here, or Boston butts, whatever you want to call them. And they're just store brand Hormel, nothing expensive. I got them for 99 cents a pound. I've got a 6-pounder there and a 9.5 pound. And I've already taken the leisure of rubbing them down with the Red Dirt Road seasoning. And I want to talk to you not about rubbing, but injecting. So if you don't have an injector, one like this, stainless steel, different size tips in a kit, you can get them for under $15. I highly recommend getting an injector and start playing around with injecting your meat. The Red Dirt Road has a nice consistency that doesn't cake, and it breaks down well when you add it with a like fall harvest type apple cider or pure apple juice. Some people like to use apple cider vinegar. I prefer the fall harvest type juice. It adds a nice extra little apple flavor and sweetness to the meat. And the reason I inject and use a rub is because the rub contains salt. And when you inject the outside of the meat, some of this is the injection juice. It's been sitting and marinating overnight. I did this about 8 hours ago. But when you inject the meat with the salt, it helps retain the moisture within, because salt likes to pull moisture. So when you put it on the outside of your meat and while you're cooking it, that salt is drawing the moisture out. Well, if you can put salt inside of the meat and do an injection, it will help retain a lot of that moisture, so you don't get a dry center to your Boston butt. You get a nice moist center, and you also get a little added flavor from the rub itself into the meat, and it makes for a really, really, really delicious pulled pork. And again, what's on here is our signature Red Dirt Road seasoning, which we're getting a lot of reviews for right now. If you're a deer hunter, people are loving the Red Dirt Road on their deer meat. If you got a wife or a girlfriend that doesn't want to try it because of the game type flavor that deer has, try it with Red Dirt Road. People are raving about it right now. It's deer season. Give it a try. We've got Red Dirt Road available in an 11-ounce jar and a 5.5-ounce jar, as well as an 11-ounce zipper resealable bag and 5.5-ounce bag. The bags are easier on shipping as far as cost-wise if you're looking to save a little money on the shipping. And if you cook a lot, or you smoke whole hogs, you do multiple racks of ribs, multiple butts at the same time, this is our 2-pound catering pack. You save about $10 buying the catering pack versus if you were to buy the larger bags separately. And we also have Gold Rush, which is our newest feature. It's great for steaks, potatoes, vegetables. It's a garlicky, oregano, basil, black pepper, little salt type blend. People are really liking that on their ribeyes right now, their chicken. If the consistency is too chunky for you, you can put it in like a pepper mill and grind it table side and use it as your all-purpose. And we've also got our sample pack type bags available, and these are just over half an ounce. Great for a couple steaks, a couple pieces of chicken. You want to do a couple pork chops with the Red Dirt Road. You want to mash in a few burgers. This is just to give you a taste of what JB's is, and they're great for stocking stuffers. And you can find all our products at jbspiceblends.com, and we'll ship it out. Most of it all goes out priority mail, so you'll get it within 2 to 3 days. And I think you'll really enjoy it. So give our seasonings a try. These butts, what we're going to do is we're going to put them on at 225 on our Vision grill, much like a Kamado Joe or a Big Green Egg. It's a ceramic cooker. This is something you can do at home. It's very easy. I'm going to show you how to make a really good pork butt that is moist, that you don't need to put sauce on unless you really want to put sauce on pork butt. I'm not a sauce guy. I like the flavor of the smoke and the rub just in the meat by itself, and it's very flavorful, very tender, and your friends are going to ask you, where'd you buy it? What restaurant you get it from? I smoke with apple wood with just a hint of hickory, and we're going to leave them on there for about 5 hours. I'm going to spritz about the 2 hour mark, and then the 3 hour mark, 4 hour mark, and 5 hour mark when I go to pull them. The reason I spritz, it helps break down the rub, helps build a nice bark on the outside with the sugar, and I spritz with the apple cider, or if the apple cider is not available, I use a pure apple juice to spritz with. The sugar is what helps build a nice bark on the outside, and it's just delicious. There's no other way to describe it. After the 5 hour mark, what I'll do is then I'll wrap them. I'll put them in a pan, I'll wrap them, and I'll throw them in the oven at 225 and get them up to the temperature that we're looking for. You don't have to leave these on the smoker unless you want to. If you want to leave them on the smoker and you want to babysit and maintain that it stays at 225 till you get to your target temperature, you can do that. I prefer just to wrap them and pull them and put them in the oven. The oven's a no-brainer. It's going to stay at 225. It's already taken in the smoke at 5 hours that it's going to take in. So after that, it's just a waiting game as far as getting to your core temp. And with these being smaller, I will probe the small one to get up to temp first, because I know I'm going to have to pull that one off before I pull off the 9.5 pound. And I will reprobe that one. But what my target temp is 190. Everyone's got a different target temp. I prefer 190. Some people like to go to 205. I've even heard of people going to 210. To me, that's too dry. You're just going to dry out your meat. There's no reason to go that high. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I go to pull this apart later on in the video. So stick around. All right, so here we are. We're outside. We've got our Vision grill. We got our temp there at 225, which is perfect, exactly where I want to be. We're rolling smoke, and excuse the mess, but if this is clean, it means you're not using it. Just gonna say, gonna put the big one in first on the cooking grate, and then I'm gonna elevate and put the second one in on top. And the reason why I'm stacking them is because this is the smaller, it's the medium size Vision grill. It's not real big. And there's no room to put those in side by side and to keep the direct heat off of them so that they can cook. So I've already got the heat deflector in place. I've got the water pan, drip pan in place, and I've got the cooking grate in place. So I'm going to put these on. All right. Let's see if you can see with the smoke rolling, but here we got our two butts stacked here. We're going to let these roll some smoke and get to queuing. Alright, so we're at the 3 hour mark. You can see our temp is still where it should be on the Vision grill. And I've already done the 2 hour spritzing. I didn't show it. I apologize. Now we're going to do the 3 hour mark spritzing. And you can take a look and see how these puppies are looking. Already starting to get a good bark. This is our smaller one right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bad boy off and set it over here to the side for just a second. Here's our bigger one. And what I've done is the apple cider is thicker and doesn't like to shoot and spray out of the spray bottles. So what I've done is I just take a corn cob holder and poke some holes in a used water bottle and fill the water bottle up with what you need, and then you can come over and you can spritz. Add a little moisture to the bark. Drip pan is burning off the fallen juice, which is good because that's what we want. It adds more flavor when you're cooking. All right. And we'll do the same up here for this top one. Again, this has already been warmed up. It's not going on cold. And then we want to close this as quickly as possible because, like they say, looking, it means you're not cooking. So we'll do this again at the 4-hour mark and the 5-hour mark and come back and show you how to wrap it. Alright, here we are again. Going to do a spritzing. You can see the beautiful color on that bark from the Red Dirt Road seasoning. Take that off. Again, just to show you some of that color. Give it a good spritz. Set it back up. And then the next one, we'll take it off and give it a wrap and a spritz and put it in the oven at 225. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. We've got our 2 Boston butts. Have a nice bark formed on them. These have not been remoistened. I don't think I'm going to spritz again before going into the foil. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off of here. And I'm going to put it on the foil. And again with the second one. And this one's the one that we're going to probe because it's being smaller. We're going to pull it out first once it gets up to the target temp. So let me wrap up both of these up and I'll be right back. Alright, we're wrapped up. You can see I've got the meat probe there about the middle of the meat. These are great because you can remote access and watch what your meat is doing as far as temperature goes without having to open the oven and constantly check it. You can pick these up relatively cheap. You can do a custom range as far as your temperature. I set this at 192 to give or take 2 degrees. My target temp is 190, but I went ahead and did 192 just so, like I said, I've got a little bit of room to play with without going too high. And right now we're at 160 on the smaller one. So we should be somewhere around 150, 155 on the larger butt. And I'll be back when we hit 190 and pull these out to rest. Alright, our alarm just went off. We're at 192 on the smaller one. So I'm going to pull that out. And take out the probe. See, nothing has leaked out into our pan yet, which is good because it means everything's staying inside of the foil, which is kind of what you want. So I'm going to take that out, I'm going to let it rest, and I'm going to probe this one and get it up to temperature. So stay tuned. Alright, we're back. This big boy got up to temperature. Pull it out. It's resting now. It took almost an hour and a half for that one to get up to the temperature of the target temp of 190 or 192 on the meter, just to give or take a couple degrees. And this one has been resting for an hour and a half, which is perfect because you want it to rest. You don't want to try and pull it apart immediately as soon as it reaches temp. You want to let the meat settle down, reabsorb some of the moisture within. And we didn't have any leaks, which is also good. Our pans are dry, which means all the moisture is still inside of the pork butt. So this one's going to rest for a while. This one's ready to pull apart, and don't have to worry about burning our hands too much, because it should be cooled down enough, but still well within the temp range, and I can feel the steam on my hand just opening it up. So if you look inside there, you can see the moisture. I'm just going to pull this apart here. And you can see how moist this butt is inside. Here's the bone. Bone pulls off clean. Do it inside there. Again, very juicy. Exactly what we want. Full of moisture. Nice and pink. Nothing's dry. This is what you want to get. This is the results that I strive for every time that I cook with a Boston butt. I want that white meat there in the middle to be wet like that. You can achieve a good moisture to your butt by injecting it. You're going to have happy customers. You're going to have happy family members, because it's going to be good food. So, hope you guys enjoy this video. Share it with your friends. If you're in the Springfield area, you can pick up JB's Red Dirt Road or the Gold Rush at Hy-Vee grocery store there in Springfield on Battlefield, at Countryside Barbecue, which is a Kamado Joe dealer, also off of Battlefield and Campbell. Over off of Sunshine and Glenstone, there's Pits and Grills that also sells our product, and in Ozark at Black Cow Meats. Great meat store. They have over 600 head of cattle, and they have their own stock butchered, and they sell it locally. It's a nice little store. Other local products and farmers market type items in the store, as well as produce. So check them out. And for all of you watching, savor the Q.